Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, there was World Bank IMF Summit from 21st to 26th of October 2024 at Washington, D.C. And therefore, John Mbadi as CS for Treasury, together with the PS for Treasury, and the governor of CBK and their team went to represent Kenya in that summit. So after that, John Mbadi and his team came back to the country. And yesterday, it was Taxpayers' Day celebration, and this event was hosted at State House in Nairobi by President William Samoei Ruto. And so during this event, CS John Mbadi got a chance to recount on how he was embarrassed during the IMF summit in Washington, D.C. And he explained how African countries had to queue for long hours waiting to be called. You spend like 20 to 30 minutes just waiting. That was John Mbadi. His suggestion is that we can stop going for these loans and have a system to collect our own money here, to run our programs without necessarily going to beg in the name of borrowing. That is his position.
Because today, IMF has released 78 billion shillings. But if KRA puts systems in place, we can collect not less than 400 billion shillings. So we can do without some of these loans. Excellency, I'm just coming to a close. There are just two things that I wanted to say, which is not in part of my speech, and is in response to what the chairman has said. The first one, Chairman, you're right that I was embarrassed at Washington, not that we were treated badly, Your Excellency. I wanted just to clarify. But you see, when you find African countries queuing in corridor, then you are called one by one. Nigeria, you come, 15, 30 minutes. Rwanda, Kenya, I mean, for those of us who have some pride, it's a bit demeaning. And you see the money that we are asking for out there, Your Excellency, if we just tighten our system, we can do without some of these monies. We can do. Because today, IMF has released 78 billion shillings. But if KRA puts systems in place, we can collect not less than 400 billion shillings. So we can do without some of these loans.
Now, Mbadi is clear in his statement that, number one, we can do without some of these IMF loans. Secondly, he is recounting on how he felt embarrassed in Washington, D.C. after being forced to queue and wait to be called. John Mbadi might be reminding William Ruto something about what he had promised Kenyans during the campaign. By then he was a presidential candidate. Ruto was clear. If he gets to power, he will stop borrowing and we will have a way to collect our own taxes and run our programs. That was his promise. If you check, for example, in Tuko, on 1st June 2022, this is what Ruto was quoted saying, "We will stop the borrowing spree. Presidential candidate William Ruto suggests he will not follow President Uhuru Kenyatta's debt footstep. Instead, we will ask our friends to invest in our country in various sectors so that we can create jobs for our young people. Is Ruto asking investors to put their money here? Are investors bringing in their money here? What he has done is to make the economy so hard to an extent investors are now running away from this country. They can't invest their money here. But it is also good you listen to this. William Ruto was heard clearly saying that the issue of borrowing will just be a story of the past. I think that is what John Mbadi is trying to remind him.
Na sisi kama serikali tutakuwa na pesa ya kuendesha serikali. Hatutakuwa tunatafuta madeni kutoka China na mahali ingine ambayo sasa inatuletea kisirani. Nyinyi mnanielewa jameni? Si kufanya biashara. Tukihakikisha ya kwamba hapa chini watu wengi tumewapatia uwezo wa kufanya biashara, hawa wananchi watalipa ushuru. Kweli ama si kweli? Tukiweka pesa ya serikali kwa mwananchi ama kwa biashara ya mwananchi mdogo, ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunazalisha uchumi hapa chini. Na tukizalisha uchumi hapa chini, hawa wananchi tutaanza kufukuza umaskini hapa chini. Na tutaanza kuzalisha uchumi, hawa wananchi na biashara zao watalipa ushuru. Na wale wamepata kazi watalipa ushuru. Na sisi kama serikali tutakuwa na pesa ya kuendesha serikali. Hatutakuwa tunatafuta madeni kutoka China na mahali ingine ambayo sasa inatuletea kisirani.
It was the meaning waiting for long queue to be called. Haya ni maneno ya John Mbadi. But beside that, his position is that we can do this without just going to US to get embarrassed simply because we are looking for funds that we can raise by ourselves. That Kenya has the capacity to raise funds and use it prudently. Now, as we continue the panel discussion, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And before I forget, just a humble request also. I've been running a program here trying to help a church raise funds in order for them to complete the construction of newly church building. They started the building from the foundation, then they got stuck somewhere before even they could finish or fix the beams. So I went there personally to help them fix the beams at the lintel. Then later I also got them the frames as requested by the engineer, 150 pieces. The problem they have is that they don't have iron sheets. Na hawaoni wakipata kwa saizi, hawana pesa. So my own grandmother, who is also a member of this church, asked me, "Suongea na marafiki zako watusaidie." And I told her, "Okay, you come and speak to them. I'm sure they will listen to you." So she's here requesting for your support in order for them to purchase the iron sheets and complete their church. Hi guys, now today I'm here with my grandmother and I have been visiting their church. She has been really requesting me to try and help so that they can finish the construction of this church. Kuna vile wamekwama. So leo nikasema nitakuja nimwambie ongea na nyinyi ili na nyinyi pia msikie kama mnaweza guzwa pia mwasaidie ili waweze kuweka roofing kwa hii kanisa. Tumejaribu sana, tumejaribu kuweka linde ilikuwa imesimama and pia tumeenda tu pia tukapata frames zenye nataka fix but they don't have iron sheets na hawana pia milango na madirisha. So ningependa pia wasalimie, awaambie majina yake alafu pia waambie mwenyewe.
Naitwa Stureh na huyu ni mjukuu wangu. Mwambia aongee na nyinyi marafiki yake, mtusaidie kanisa kujenga na mapato. Hakuna mapato. Kama mtusaidia, tutaomba Mungu abariki.
Now, to complete this church, they need about 75 iron sheets. That's a budget of about 70 to 80,000 Kenyan shillings. And if you're touched with this story and you are in a position to help, kindly do so by sending your support through the M-Pesa number 0708340092. The name is Charles Inangungwa. We have managed to get 24,200 Kenyan shillings. And we are still going. I hope that we can manage actually to help them sort out this issue. Thank you so much for those who have sent in their support. I mentioned in the previous video the names of the individuals who have already supported this program. Now back to our discussion. If you look at John Mbadi, he seems to be speaking the truth. It is embarrassing. Even as an individual, when you get to borrow what you can afford, only that you have not put strategy in a place to achieve what you want. The biggest problem in this country is not about raising funds. It's not about the collection, or it's not about actually increasing taxes. Ruto even came out to double the taxes, and we thought that he will raise too much money and a lot of projects will be done, no need borrowing. But he's borrowing, just like when Uhuru was borrowing. The difference between Ruto and Uhuru is that for Uhuru, you would see tangible projects. Ziko nyingi. That's why Ruto is still launching a project that was done and completed by Uhuru Kenyatta. For Ruto, he's borrowing, but you can't see anything. Just name one project that was initiated by William Ruto to completion. He's now 2 years in the office. Name one. Nothing. Nothing. Tayari wako nusu ya term. The issue that we are having is that those who are collecting taxes, they have a way of playing with these figures. We saw William Ruto going to address the KRA officials. So yote inafika. That's the problem number one. Number two, how are they spending the money that has been submitted by the tax collector, KRA? Are they using this money prudently? If so, can you tell me one thing that they have been able to achieve, if it is not protest after protest, from teachers to nurses to doctors to students and to Kenyans, Gen Zs? It is protest after protest. That's what Ruto has been able to achieve. Nothing else. They can stop this borrowing thing. Instead of increasing taxes, debts, they can collect money here and use it properly. So John Mbadi was simply reminding William Ruto what he promised Kenyans during the campaign. Hakupromise atakuwa anatuma Minister for Finance kwenda kuleta mkopo na madeni na yeye kutoka hapa kwenda China. Madeni, in fact, alisema atasimamisha madeni ya China. Instead, Ruto has perfected borrowing.